Welcome to our Transaction Tuesdays webinar series, and today's title is The Early Bird Catches the Fraud: How Real-Time Data Helps Banks and Financial Institutions with Early Warning Fraud Detection. My name is Ugan Naidoo. I am responsible for engineering and services within INETCO systems, and I will be taking you through this talk. The big problem we are going to focus on today is that many banks and financial institutions are finding it difficult to detect fraud as it is unfolding, and not after the damage is done. Organizations must be ready to spot unauthorized transactions in order to protect customer accounts as well as the ATM and POS ecosystems against potential skimming, phishing, and ongoing advanced persistent threats, otherwise known as APTs. But early warning fraud detection is becoming more challenging because, firstly, many of today's APTs are designed to fly under the radar of traditional payment fraud defenses or to bypass back-end risk monitoring systems entirely. Secondly, new payment system vulnerabilities are being exploited through a combination of specially crafted malware, social engineering, and coordinated attacks. And lastly, many financial institutions have smaller ATM fleet sizes and cannot justify the cost and resources needed to run extravagant fraud monitoring systems. Now, according to a recent survey, the 2018 Identity Fraud Study, which was released by Javelin Strategy and Research, it reveals that identity fraud is at an all-time high and continues to rise year on year. The study also found that since the introduction of EMV in the US, there has been a significant reduction in card-present fraud, but conversely an increase in card-not-present fraud. We know that as controls are implemented in one channel, that criminals very quickly adapt and move on to the next vulnerable channel to exploit. At INETCO, we know that managing fraud in a financial institution is a moving target. So we looked at how best we could alleviate some of the challenges plaguing organizations. Because we provide a real-time window into every end-to-end transaction and the underlying technology architecture it runs on, we thought, wouldn't it be great if you had a real-time window into transactions across different channels and an ability to alert intelligently when fraud does occur? If you could, would you be able to respond faster to coordinated attacks and limit or stop fraud from happening in real time? Could you reduce losses caused by fraud and increase customer trust? The answer is yes. INETCO provides real-time visibility into every individual consumer interaction across all physical and digital channels and is able to answer fraud-centric questions such as: where are an unusually high number of unexpected fallback transactions occurring? Can we isolate terminals used in coordinated attacks? And how can we identify fake processing due to switch malware and card compromise? So what makes us unique is the fact that we are able to capture transactions off the wire across very different proprietary financial services protocols. By capturing this rich contextual transaction details in real time, we are able to make decisions faster. We are also able to immediately detect suspicious transactions by looking at device and card usage patterns, such as large values or high velocity transaction volumes occurring at specific ATMs or POS devices. And lastly, we are able to detect fraud across an omnichannel environment, network blind spots, and back-end payment systems that criminals are out to exploit. We collect and analyze the journey of transactions from the acquiring side all the way to the back-end authorizing hosts. So, when a transaction does go astray due to malware or man-in-the-middle type attacks, we can pick up these transactions immediately, thereby limiting the damage. So, how you win is: firstly, by extending switch and card processing security. By correlating front and back-end transactions, we know when a transaction enters a payment switch but never leaves for authorization. This would most likely be due to advanced malware being used to compromise switch authorization behavior and creating stand-in situations. Secondly, you have the ability to monitor foreign card transactions. You will be able to detect when another bank's counterfeited cards are being repeatedly used at your ATMs to withdraw cash. This helps you detect before ATM cash out happens. Thirdly, you are able to speed up the detection of ongoing front-end APT attacks by quickly identifying customer behavioral anomalies vulnerable terminals, and compromises to the payment switch. Finally, you are able to spot EMV fallbacks, unexpected stand-ins, and newly compromised domestic cards, and take action before they make it onto hotlists or are used at foreign terminals. So if you would like to learn a bit more about how INETCO is helping organizations respond faster, reduce fraud losses, and build customer trust, please feel free to contact me and I will be happy to take you through a demonstration of our capabilities. Thank you.